coming in undefeated in the conference. Salem undefeated overall at 4-0. Swampscott coming in at 5-1. Swampscott with their one loss outside the conference. They lost to a good Medford team in the Stoneham Holiday Festival after knocking off the host Stoneham. They fell a little bit short against a good Medford team, and they come in the game at 5-1. Fridmar jumping against Whitten, and Scooney Penn controls the tap. I'm John Hoffman, and alongside me is Dennis Skeetus, the coach of North Shore Community College.
Go Cleveland!
The drive to the basket knocked away by Cleveland, picked up by Fridmar. This is Kevin Rogers into Fridmar along the baseline, lays it up and in. Dennis, it's going to be tough for Salem matchup inside.
Well, Swampscott's got the big boys in there, Cleveland and Friedman. Friedman, but here goes Woodfork on the breakaway.
It looked like he traveled, but they let him have it. He lays it in, and it's 4-0. And we've yet to see the Salem vaunted press yet because they haven't had a chance to put it on. We get a foul as Scooney Penn got the shot off, but it's not going to count. And Dennis, I got to say, we may have to watch this on TV3 because we can't see it from where we are. There are posts all over the place. And whoever built this place was not a basketball player. Tyson Whitten gets loose and lays it in. Rogers 21, Woodfork is 12, Cleveland is 44, Fridmar is 43, Brian Hayes is 14. Woodfork with the jump shot is short. Rebound by Penn against Rogers. Goes to the basket, can't hit the shot. Rogers with the rebound. Four to 2 in the early going. Salem yet to be tested. They're beating everybody by 25 or 30. Cleveland loses it out of bounds. Dennis, we talked about it. It's tough for a team if you win by 30 and you keep your players are only getting half the time. Tournament time comes, you're going to be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I think they're going to be motivated tonight, though. Both teams being undefeated in the league, doesn't take much to get these kids from Salem up. I really noticed here they're playing man-to-man, though. They might have to go to zone and shut off the inside of Swampscott.
Tony Maharajas is 23 with the basketball. Penn is 11. This is Saul Mateo. Shot up, no good. Woodfork with the rebound. Ahead to Cleveland. Goes to the basket, draws the foul against Hernandez. So Judd Cleveland will go to the foul line. And of course, the press, the outside shooting, and the quickness of Salem is what Swampscott has to be worried about.
I got to wait for them to score. As soon as they score, I'm sure you're going to see it, especially in the small gym. It's usually more effective. It's always great in that Lynn English gym. We'll see what happens in this gym. I'm sure it'll be very effective.
Cleveland gets everything but knock it down. It's in, out, and then out again. 4 to 2, Swampscott in the early going leading. Cleveland trying to make it a 3-point lead. So he makes 1 out of 2. And this is Penn bringing the ball up. Woodfork on him. Maharajas. Penn off the glass, no good. Penn actually tapped it up. The ball on the floor. We'll have a jump ball situation. The arrow favors Swampscott. I know Brian Bagley, what he wants to do is get out in the face of Swampscott, not give him those open jump shots.
Well, you know, I'd like to see him on the score. He's got the quick guards. Take a shot after the foul shot and see if you can press this team. Team that presses a lot doesn't like to be pressed. You know, none of these teams come out and pressure Salem. In your own gym, in that real small gym, you got Hayes, Woodfork, Rogers. Take a shot, see if it's there.
I think it's a good idea because sometimes your reputation precedes you. You say, they're so quick we can't press them, so we won't. And you never know whether you could or not.
It's either going to work or it's not. It's the only way you can find out.
This is Scooney Penn, guided by Woodfork. Mateo. This is Penn inside. Nice pass to Hernandez. He lays it in. And they hurt you in so many ways. Scooney Penn sees the whole floor. And all of a sudden now they're comparing him to a Brunson and Arena at this stage. And I think he can do it favorably. Maybe not as good, but certainly favorable.
It's not far away.
Good a foul against Matarajas. He does it all. He can stick to three. He can go to the basket. He plays good, solid defense. And he finds the open man, as we just saw down there.
Yeah, he runs the point. He's a great passer. You know, Brunson was as good a passer as around. Reno was a great shooter, but this kid's got everything. And we'll still get 2 more years of him after this.
Cleveland in the lane, throws it up, no good. Woodfork comes away with the rebound, kicks it outside to Rogers. Rogers, the long shot, off, no good. Fridmar chases it down, Penn takes it away. This is Tyson Whitten. Matarajas covered by Rogers. Goes to the basket, scores, and's fouled. And that's his offside. He's left-handed. And he still was able to go to his right and lay the ball in.
Well, Salem's offense very impressive against a man. Passing and going away. There's a lot of screens, a lot of back screens. Coach Bailey might have to take a look at throwing a little zone here, make him start, hit the threes, or even extend the zone a little bit and try to shut off the picks and back doors. There's a press.
Matarajas finishes off the three-point play the conventional way, and he was on fire there. He scored the first 8 points of the ball game against English, and is almost steal now. Penn steals it, but he stepped out of bounds. And that's what Swampscott was most worried about. If they try to dribble too much, they're going to get their pocket picked.
Well, these guys are as quick as any I've ever seen, and that's without Lopez playing. Mateo is incredible. He's an unsung hero here because Penn's getting all the recognition. Mateo's as quick as anybody.
Fridmar handles it to Rogers. Rogers fakes the shot, gets swallowed up, kicks it out to Woodfork. Back to Rogers, covered by Mateo. Rogers goes to the basket, can't hit the shot, but he'll go to the free throw line. And a nice little ceremony for Kevin Rogers beforehand. He becomes, as we said, the 4th player. And conceivably, I think he's like 70 points away from becoming the number 2 scorer in Swampscott history. He won't catch Paul Moran. But an outstanding career by Kevin Rogers. Misses the free throw. And I think his father hit the nail on the head. I mentioned before, his father said he's a nice person. And I think that's makes it even better.
I also like him on the pitching mound. I think he's a great pitcher in baseball. He's got a great future there, too.
I mentioned that, plus he's a soccer player, too. So Rogers hits 1 of 2. So he's on the board with his first point. It's 7-6. Salem on top as Penn brings it up over half court. The little give and go back to Penn. Looking to go against Woodfork. The foul is going to be against Woodfork. That's a tough matchup. Sophomore against sophomore, but Penn is a little too quick to play one-on-one.
I'm not sure if there's any team around it you can go one-on-one with and match up man-to-man against Salem. But I'd try a little pressure, and I'd try to extend that zone, maybe 1-3-1, and try to shut off their three-pointers.
Michael Jordan is a sub in the ball game as Fridmar comes up with a loose basketball. 3-on-1. Hayes, this is Jordan. Almost picked off. Fridmar goes to the basket, lays it up left-handed, in. That's a young man who's really come on strong for Swampscott.
Yeah, both he and Cleveland, and we get another year of them, too. It's Swampscott. I think Kevin's the only senior in the team, Kevin Rogers.
Brian Hayes is the senior.
Brian, that's correct.
Matarajas drives the lane. Scoop shot is good.
Going to have to take the man-to-man off.
Well, I think they were going man-to-man with everybody helping out on Penn, saying we're going man-to-man, but make sure you help out on Penn's man. But they forgot that there were 4 other players for Salem who can go one-on-one also.
Well, we haven't even mentioned Whitten yet. I mean, he's such a force inside, and Giardi hasn't even got in the game, so you're going to have to zone it up here.
Jordan's shot is blocked. Gets it back to Rogers. The jump shot is good. So Swampscott is on top as we seesaw back and forth. 10-9, the Big Blue. As Penn has the basketball, covered by Rogers now. Penn, the shot no good. Fritbar with the rebound. The foul is going to be against Whitten, I believe.
Yeah, Whitten, Tyson Whitten over the back.
So right now, Salem is not starting the way they started their ball games. They were on fire every game. Usually by this time the game was over. The last 4 games.
Biggest game up to date so far. Both teams 3-0 in the conference. And sure there's a few butterflies going on out there.
The shot up, no good by Brendan Nolan. And Penn brings it right back. Can't hit the shot, gets his own rebound, brings it back outside, looks for Matarajas for 3. No good. Hernandez gets a piece of it, knocks it away. Mateo comes up with it. Mateo's shot is good. (11-10), we go back and forth. And tough man-to-man defense by the Witches. Rogers covered by Mateo. This is Brendan Nolan. He's played really well coming off the bench for the Big Blue. Hit some big free throws in that Classical 1-point win. Rogers takes the shot. Hangs there, falls through for him. He's got 5, and the Big Blue is back on top, 12-11. Nice pass to Hernandez from Matarajas, and he lays it in. So back and forth we go. The Witches on top. Neither team able to really pull ahead so far. Rogers with the shot. Is shot. Mateo kicks it out to Penn. At the foul line. Takes the shot and hits it. So Penn with his first basket. He started slow the other night against English, Dennis. And then he really caught fire and hit something like 7 or 8 in a row. Wound up with 23, the team high scorer. So he may be standing in the swing of things.
Well, it's going to be tough to stop him. You can't keep him down the whole night, Ed. He might miss 4 or 5 in a row, but he's going to keep chucking. He's such a good shooter. I know his coach is going to tell him to keep shooting. On the other hand, Swampscott, they're just getting 1 shot and out. Salem down there had 3 offensive rebounds, and not Swampscott's not boxing out. I think Coach Bagley's going to tell him during his timeout. Let's have a little bit of movement. Try to get Bagley, Kevin Rogers a couple screens out there, or maybe look for Cleveland inside. Try to get a couple of the big men in foul trouble, but they're all standing still watching the dribble. They get a little bit of continuous flow out there.
Of course, Scooney at Penn for Salem, he can get a shot off. Almost good offense, almost anytime he wants it. He's so quick, he handles the ball so well. You can't really stay with, and he gets the shot off so quickly that the only thing you can hope for is that he has a slow night or an off night, because he's going to get his shots, and they're going to be quality shots more often than not.
Yeah, well, his quickness and the way Coach Garrity's got the offense running here, a lot of screens against the man-to-man, you're going to get someone open. Now Salem on the other end is also playing that man-to-man deny. You got to look for back doors or some screens. That's just the way Salem's getting all these easy shots. Swampscott's got to try to do the same thing.
So Brian has talked to his troops, and they put the ball in play. And Kevin Rogers will bring the ball up. This is Nolan. Dump it inside to Jordan, in the lane to Cleveland, outside to Rogers. Drives, takes the shot, hangs there, won't go. Tipped around Cleveland, and the foul is going to be against Tommy Giotti, who's in the ball game. That was one of those, excuse me, I got caught.
That's right.
With
his hands in the wrong place at the wrong time.
With that stranglehold. Inside to Michael Jordan, covered by Hernandez. Takes the shot, no good. Rogers has it blocked by Giotti. Big defensive play inside by Tommy Giotti. Swampscott still controls the ball. Rogers on the floor, he got run over. He drew Mateo up in the air and had no place to go but on his back.
Get those kids, Salem kids are going for those head fakes there. Just start using them a little bit more, but their defense is just immense. I mean, they're denying every single pass.
So Swampscott will put it in play. Neither team in the bonuses yet. We've just about reached the halfway mark in the first half. 15-12, the Witches on top. This is Brian Hayes into Cleveland. In the lane, picked off by Mateo, and that's the passing lane you talked about. Scooney Penn. Mateo into Hernandez, knocked out of bounds by Jordan. It's Jordan, Cleveland, Rogers, Brian Hayes, and Mike Klein in the ballgame for Swampscott. Penn going against Rogers. Takes the shot, hits it, and he'll go to the free throw line. The basket is good. He'll try to make a conventional three-point play. And we got Donovan Billings coming in the basketball game, replacing Hernandez. So they got Salem with kind of twin towers of their own out there.
Oh, they bring in some big kids. Donovan Billings is a kid that is very much improved, very tall.
Penn got a second chance when Giotti rebounded the miss, but the three-point shot was no good. So it's 17-12 as Rogers walks it up over half court. Gets loose along the baseline, lays it in. Nice drive by Kevin.
Jetty Cleveland there cleared out the middle for him, and a nice screen opened up the baseline.
He's got half the points. He's got 7. Shot no good. Tipped around. Penn gets it back. Looking for the bounce pass to Billings. It was picked off by Klein. 17-14 with 7 minutes left in the first half. Rogers against Mateo, looking to go baseline. They dump it into Cleveland, back to Rogers. The foul is going to be against Donovan Billings inside.
Kevin Rogers is such a great shooter. He's getting the ball in that wing all by himself. They either got to go high, low, look for a pick and roll with Cleveland, him and Cleveland on one side, or someone come up and set a screen, free him up for the jump. He's got to do all the work by himself.
Salem has gone over the limit, so Judd Cleveland will be at the free throw line shooting 1-on-1. He can get Swampscott back within 1. Around the rim, hangs there and falls through. Cleveland with his second point. And he'll look to make it 17-16. This time it doesn't fall for him. Tipped around, Rogers comes down with a loose basketball. Tony brings it up over half court. Gets loose for the jump shot, no good. Mateo tips it out, but right to Klein. And Swampscott with a chance to tie. A three-point basket would put him in the lead. Rogers looking for the conventional three-point play, off the rim and out, but he'll go to the free throw line. And so far it's been, Rogers has been the offense.
Yeah, he's their mainstay. He's their point guard. He's their shooting guard and probably their best passer, but I can't say it enough. They're leaving him out there by himself. I'd love to see someone come up and set a screen and free him up, and maybe someone can roll to the basket.
I was going to say the pick and roll would be ideal.
He's got the big men for it.
Rogers hits. With a chance to tie it up. Kevin makes both. He has 9, and we're tied at 17 with 6:25 left to play in the first half. Bob Killick stepped out of bounds. So the turnover will give Swampscott a chance to take the lead. Rogers again takes the shot from outside. Off the rim, no good. Rebound by Giotti. Rogers chases it down. In the paint, gets swallowed up. Kicks it back out. Picked off by Kevin Rogers. Nice job. They didn't see him. He came from behind. And he picked it off. And again, Swampscott will have an opportunity to take the lead. Inside to Fridmar. Shot is up and good. So Leon Fridmar has 6 as Whitten and Penn come back. Kevin Rogers is going to get a break. Brendan Nolan. So it'll be interesting to see where Swampscott goes to now for their offense.
Probably spread it out. I'd spread it out without Rogers in there. Try to at least give him a 2 or 3 minute rest, even a minute or two. Maybe get a timeout in there.
Lana Rogers loses it. The pass ahead picked off by Penn. Penn loses it out of bounds. So turnover city here for the last minute or so. And Salem wants a timeout to talk about it. And for the first time in a long time, Salem finds himself in a contest. They trail 19-17 with 5:24 left.
Well, I think they're going to come out. We haven't seen their pressure yet. And with Rogers out of the game, if Coach Bagley elects to still sit him down, he's going to get a good rest out of his timeout. But if Rogers doesn't come back in the game, I think you might see Salem putting the full court pressure on. It's probably their best ball handler, and maybe Coach Garrity will take advantage of him being on the bench.
Well, they went exclusively to Kevin bringing the ball up, going one-on-one, and clearing out for him and letting him go. We'll see if they keep that in effect with Kevin on the bench, if in fact he's on the bench. During the timeout, they could put him back in. We'll check that when they come back on the floor. But Kevin, of course, has 9. Fridmar has 6. That's 15. They only have 19, so 2 guys doing the scoring. They've been successful so far, and Penn's only got 2 baskets. He's been well off the start that he's made. And, of course, this is a start. You see Salem in their red uniforms. They're going to keep these in their bag for a while. They've got like 4 or 5 games in a row on the road now.
Well, it's good to open up at home, and they got all the wins there, but they're going to be tough. I don't care if they play in the playground. They're tough to match up against. Here's a little pressure.
This is Klein bringing it up. Calixto almost picks it off. Fridmar way outside, covered by Giotti. Brian Hayes with the basketball. Looking inside, tipped, knocked away. And those hands are always around. Roberto Vasquez will come in for Matarajas. And they throw it all the way into the backcourt to Brendan Nolan. This is Rogers, who is back in the game. Rogers, Fridmar, Cleveland, Nolan, and Klein out there for Swampscott. Salem now in zone, or look like zone. Now they're back man-to-man.
Probably went zone out of bounds.
Rogers gets it underneath. Big block inside. Tyson Whitten got the hand on the ball, knocked it away. It went out of bounds. It'll be Swampscott basketball. Rogers will put it in play. Into Cleveland. This is Fridmar in the lane. Big block by Giotti. We got. It's calling a foul on Giotti. That's a tough call because they're both going for the ball.
Very tough call. The possession definitely wasn't established. Both guys going after the ball. There wasn't a lot of contact there. We're a little far up here in the stands, but just aggressive play right there.
So Cleveland will be back at the free throw line with a chance to extend the Swampscott lead. A low scoring affair, considering Salem has been averaging about 75 points a game.
Good job.
Cleveland with his 3rd foul point, and it's 20-17. Can't get the second one to fall. Giotti pulls down the rebound and gives it to Penn. 20-17, the Big Blue on top. We're at Swampscott High School in the big one early in the season, the Northeastern Conference. Penn looking to go inside, gets loose, takes the runner, no good. Tommy Giotti with the big rebound, lays it in. Tommy getting more and more quality minutes, and he's really playing well. They're trying to double up, but they get a piece of Kevin Rogers. Calixt with the foul, and I hope I'm pronouncing the young man's name correctly. He's the transfer from Brooklyn. Rogers will be at the free throw line shooting 1-on-1. You're looking to get into double figures. He's got 9. No good. Rebounded by Giotti. Picked off by Kevin Rogers. 1-on-1. actually lost it, has to pull it back out. Looked like he might have a layup. Lost the basketball. The shot up, no good. Tipped around. Whitten finally comes down with it. Gives it a Penn. Whitten from the foul line. Hits the shot. Whitten second basket. And Salem regains the lead at 21-20. There's the defense. The pass ahead. Ahead of the pack. Penn lays it in. There's that switching defense. They look like Indians attacking Custa.
Yeah, Fremont looked a little tired there. With these quickness of the guards, you got to throw that ball and you got to make that pass count. You can't lob it up there.
Traveling against Kevin Rogers, they put the pressure on, and he took a step before he got rid of the basketball. And Salem, after trailing by a couple, they trailed by 3. Now they have a 3-point advantage and the basketball. They get a chance to extend to the largest lead by either team if they could score here. Penn covered by Rogers. Out to Penn for 3. It's good. He's got 9. He started slow. It's 26-20. Fridmar, and you notice Fridmar's got to come out further and further. Handle the basketball. Picked off by Penn. Calix can't get the shot to fall. Tipped around. Great job by Tommy Giardi. Very unselfish. Got the ball. Gave it up. Gave it to Penn. Penn lays it in, and all of a sudden, it's 28-20 as Salem puts on one of those patented spurts.
Yeah, Swampscott got a little stale there, and you can't fall asleep for 1 second against this Salem team. They keep coming in. The kid from Brooklyn's in the lineup. Mateo's in the lineup. Penn's in the lineup. They come in with Donovan Billings for a few minutes. Whitten back in the game. You can't fall asleep on these guys. You got to be on your toes the whole time, and they're going to get it. These 8-0 runs, 10-0 runs, and they're going to go right by it.
Well, it was 20-17. Swampscott on top by 3, and Salem has answered with 11 straight points to make it 28-20. And just as it looked as though Swampscott had the better of it, it was 20-17. Rogers at the free throw line shooting 1-on-1. He missed the shot. They come down, and they've run 11 straight points since. And it's just that tenacious defense. They started creating turnovers. They started picking up, getting easy, turning over layups. And that's the difference in the game right now.
Yeah, and also you got to make your foul shots at home. Rogers missed the front end of the 1-on-1. Jetty Cleveland missed the front end of the 1-on-1. There's a potential 4 points there and takes them out of that run a little bit. But I'm sure Coach Bagley's telling them to just stay on your toes, make sure you're playing good passes, and don't get caught standing around.
Yeah, the big thing here is that they haven't really generated any offense except for Kevin Rogers' hand going 1-on-1. And they've got to get somebody else involved and take some pressure off Kevin. Or it's going to be a long night. He's had 3 or 4 guys covering him. There's that pressure by Salem. Fridmar gets the loop. Takes the shot. Blocked by Giardi. And Giardi is really playing well. Penn lays it in. 7 straight points by Scooney Penn, and it's 30-20, a double-digit lead for the Witches. Rogers answers back with a jump shot. They've got to find somebody else to step up. Knocked out of bounds. Good defense by Kevin Rogers. He's doing it at both ends.
Not only is they have him trying to score all Swampscott's points, he's also covering Penn.
And Salem calls timeout. Looked like Scooney might have had a little trouble getting the ball in bounds, so he quickly called timeout. 1:33 left to play in the first half, 30-22, and that basket by Kevin stopped a long run by Salem. It's been a while since Swampscott scored before that.
I mentioned before, he's trying to cover Penn, and he's in a tough catch-22 situation. You can't play off him, as he's going to hit the 3 on you. And if you're uptight on him, he's got that quick first step, and he's going to go and dish it off. Someone's got to come on from the weak side if he beats his man and step in, try to take a charge. But, geez, Mr. Penn's doing it all tonight. What an impressive performance.
He started off very slow, but he certainly picked it up a notch. He's got 13 points. And he certainly is the catalyst for this ball club. But Mataraj has been playing well. But I'm impressed right now with the job that Tommy Giotti is doing.
Well, they've gone on this run with Tommy in the lineup. Couple of rebounds. Tommy plays a little physical inside. I think he's been putting the body on Jetty Cleveland, pretty much take him out of his offense there. It might have shown when Cleveland went to the line for his foul shot, front rimmed it. Tommy's going to put a body on you out there. It's very athletic moves that he puts on out there. He's very, very cagey kid, and they've made this run with him on the floor.
He's got several rebounds. He got a basket, a couple of nice passes for assists, and he blocked 3 or 4 shots as well. So really doing well. Whitten loses it. Penn picks it up, dribbles it outside. Penn for 3. It's good. Another trifecta for Scooney, and it's 33-22. Rogers, Fridmar. This is Klein. Underneath to Hayes. The fall away. No good. Rebound inside. Off. Whitten out of bounds. So Swampscott gets a break. They'll get the ball back. As we have Hernandez coming back in the ball game, replacing Kalitz. Rogers to put it in play. Almost picked off by Mataraj as they go deep to Klein. This is Rogers. It's good for 3. Mataraj! What a shot! A whirling dervish of a layup by Mataraj, and it's 35-25. Rogers drives the lane and lays it in. Kevin doing it all. 30 seconds left. Salem will hold for 1. They lead by 8. Mataraj's shot blocked. Saves it, but right to Klein. And I don't think that's the shot that Coach Garrity wanted.
That was a very poor decision. You know, they've done that in the past couple of years. It was one of the knocks on Coach O'Brien. If they held for 1 shot, they were still going with the 8-point lead. It could go in with a 5-point lead on a 3-point turnover here.
Whitten with the big play. 2-on-1. Mataraj blocked at the buzzer. George Reyes had the layup, but a big defensive play by Klein at the buzzer. So it's 35-27. And Swampscott has to feel a little bit easy that they're only down 8, coming back a little bit, because they could have been blown out here at the end of the first half.
Well, yeah, Kevin saved them with a big 3-point shot, and Mataraj really helped them out, shooting the ball with 10 or 12 seconds. So if Coach Garrity called for the 1, I'm sure he doesn't even care if they don't even get a shot off. You don't want to put the ball back on Swampscott's hand, especially where Rogers can hit a 3-point shot on you.
35-27 halftime. The Witches on top. We'll be back. Welcome back to Swampscott High School, and we continue on this Sunday sports on TV3. John Hoffman along with Dennis Skeetis. Salem will have the basketball first. It'll be Hernandez putting it in play to Scooney Penn. And Salem has the lead 35-27. And Dennis, it was that 11-0 spurt. Scooney Penn, he got the last 8 points of the half, and he really came on. He's got 16.
Well, they got an 8-point lead. If it wasn't for Rogers' 3-pointer with about 25 seconds left, it'd have been 11, and it was a big difference there. Let's see if Swansea can capitalize on a few mistakes that Salem made down the last minute.
So they inbounds the ball to Mataraj. Tony drives the lane, throws it up left-handed. No good. The foul is going to be against Swampscott. Mataraj will go to the free throw line. It's Scooney Penn, Saul Mateo, Tony Mataraj, Tyson Whitten, and Wednesday Hernandez in there. For Swampscott, it's Peter Woodfork, Kevin Rogers, Judd Cleveland, Brian Hayes, and Leon Fridmar. So the starting 5s for both teams are in the ball game. Mataraj, who had 7 in the first half, give him 8 now, and make it 9. And it's back to double digits, 37-27, as Mateo presses Kevin Rogers in the backcourt. Woodfork with the basketball, looking inside. Cleveland in the paint, takes the shot. No good. Tipped around, nice save by Mateo. and he got hurt a little bit doing that. Penn stops, pops, hits it. Mateo made a great save down the other end as it was going out of bounds. He got hurt a little bit, but he's okay.
I was blocked out by the pole, but I was able to see Cleveland take the shot and stand still, not follow his shot at all. He's got to go in there and help out on the boards.
And they're still allowing Kevin Rogers to bring the ball up, which is making him do triple duty. Mateo going for the loose basketball. Can't come up with it. Rogers and Fridmar combine to take it back. This is Kevin. His shot is blocked, picked off by Whitten. Penn to Rogers. Whitten with the fall away, no good. Fridmar to Rogers. This is Peter Woodfork. Dumps it inside to Fridmar. Back to Woodfork. Outside to Hayes. The shot off the rim, no good. Shot is missed again. Whitten comes down with the rebound. Ahead to Rogers. 2-on-3. And Woodfork picked his pocket from behind but knocked it out of bounds.
Now, once again, John, I hate to beat a dead horse, but I watched Leon Freeman take the jump shot from the foul line. He ended up walking at half court, watching the ball going up and down for the rebound. He's got to fall out. He's one of the biggest kids up there. He's got to go in there and help out.
Calixt is in the game for Mateo, who was still limping a little bit. This is Hernandez. Whitten in the paint, takes the shot. Won't fall for him. The foul is going to be against Calixt.
So it looked like Whitten got hit on that shot. He made a nice drop step, nice little move, and I think he got hit in the hand.
39-27. Salem has run 4 straight points here to start the second half. They take the 12-point lead, and this is Brian Hayes. Tipped away. Hernandez, loose basketball. Finally picked off. Sweeney Penn with the basketball. Penn along the baseline, gets loose, dumps it inside. Nice little drop pass to Whitney, lays it in. Seems like he's got eyes in the back of his head.
He handles the ball very similar to Eddie Hammonds.
Swampscott loses the ball, and it's starting to get away from him, and Swampscott, Brian Bagley wants a timeout. And that pressure, they come out, and they get that little confidence, and you wait. It's almost like you set your watch. Sooner or later, you know they're going to have one of those little spurts. They had one 11-0 run. Now they're on a 6-0 run, and they get the ball back.
Well, we mentioned in the first half, you got nothing to lose. Salem was picked to win the league. They're undefeated in the league. They've won the league 5 years in a row. Why not try and put a little pressure on them? You're down 14 now. What's the difference if you get down 16 or 18? Try to get it within 10. But you also have to score. I don't think they've scored in the second half.
No, they haven't got any points yet in the second half. And I think the big thing is you're looking at, you got guards on the floor, and Kevin Rogers is actually a forward, and they're using Kevin Rogers to bring the ball up court, and he's got to do, as we mentioned before, almost triple duty. He's bringing it up. He's got to be the offense. And on defense, most of the first half, he was covering Sweeney Penn.
Well, he's also bringing the ball up against pressure. Penn, or the kid from Brooklyn's covering him all the time, and they keep switching. If he's going to bring it up against pressure, you're using that much more energy. If you're going to walk the ball up, it's a little bit different. But every time he gets the ball, there's someone in his shirt.
Well, they're really making him work. He's had 3 or 4 different people cover him. This is Rogers. Hernandez. Calixt goes to the floor, gets back up, loses it, gets it back, tries to kick it out, dribbles it back outside. Rogers. This is Whitten. Underneath, Rogers. The shot won't go. It was down. It came back out again. And again, Rogers, and again, he's got somebody right in his shirt. The foul is going to be against Salem. And Dennis, even when Kevin gives up the basketball, he's really got to work to get it back because they're playing him without the ball as well.
Well, people are stepping it up and trying to deny him the ball, which is great on Coach Garrity's part. I mean, he's got his kids ready. Hey, for all intents and purposes, you come in this gym and stop Kevin Rogers, you're going to win the ball game.
12:53 left, a 14-point lead for Swampscott. This is Brian Hayes outside. They dump it inside of Cleveland, tipped around, picked off by Salem. And here comes Sweeney Penn. A long three-point basket is good. He's got 21, and the lead is 17. And again, it's Kevin Rogers against pressure, really having to work to bring the ball up court.
Someone can get out and set a screen for him. They're waiting for him to get the ball up court, standing still.
Whitten gets called for traveling. Swampscott, through the first just about 4 minutes, have not scored yet. A 9-0 run by the Witches. And this is Penn. Mateo, who just came back in. Whitten from the foul line. Can't get the shot to fall. Cleveland got a piece of him, and Whitten will go to the free throw line. And it's got to be a little frustrating because Swampscott coming in, throw out the Medford game. Swampscott's really been playing well. They can win at Classical. They haven't won a game there in probably 4 or 5 years. They play a nice game against Classical. They win. Everything is upbeat. They come out here and they're actually up by 3 with about 5 minutes left to play. And then Salem puts on one of those patented 11-0 spurts, and now they come out here 9-0 as Whitten misses the first. And you got to be talking to yourself a little bit.
Well, you know, fortunately for them, it's only the 5th game of the year. So they're going to have an opportunity to look back at this, watch the game on TV3, and maybe get a tape and look at all the mistakes they made and work from there. You don't want this type of performance the last week or two before the season, before the tournament, but they can learn from this. I think it'll be a big help for them.
I think sooner or later they got to give Kevin Rogers a break bringing the ball up because he is really working hard. The shot is missed, tipped around. Hernandez comes down with it. Again, the good team defense by Salem. Penn in the lane, throws it back out to Matarajas for 3. It's good. Tony has 12, and the lead is 20. And just like that, this was a game for quite a while, almost the entire first half. And now Swampscott on the verge of being blown out of their own gym. The kick out from Whitten. This is Penn. To Matarajas for 3. No good. Fridmar chases down the loose ball. The pass ahead, too far. Looking for Klein. He threw it away, out of bounds. And Swampscott wants another timeout to talk about it. 12-0 run here by Swampscott, by the Witches, excuse me. And Swampscott's still looking for his first point. We played almost 5 minutes and they haven't scored yet.
Well, you know, we keep going back talking about Penn and Rogers, Penn and Rogers. And what's getting lost in all this is the job that they're doing on Freeman and Cleveland on the inside. Salem has completely dominated the boards. Second and third chances. Salem's got, Swampscott, if they even get one shot, it's one shot and out. Kids aren't following up, they're boxing out, and they've got to play a little bit harder. What you got to do is you got to come out now, you're down 20. Chances of coming back in this game are very slim, but you got to work on the things you work on in practice and not let this get away. Work on your offense, make some good passes. Right now you're working towards the next game, or you're working towards the next time you play Salem.
47-27, 11-10 left in the ball game. The 2 undefeated teams in the conference were at Swampscott High School. We mentioned Salem will be on the road for the next 4 or 5. But Swampscott, somebody has got to step up and take the pressure off Kevin Rogers. You see Matarajas chips in with a couple of shots. This is Penn from the corner, doesn't get the shot off. They dump it inside to Hernandez. The shot's no good. The foul will be against Jordan, I believe. And we saw Giotti come in and play some good defense. You don't have to necessarily score to help out. Rogers has blocked some shots. Giotti, blocked some shots, got a couple of nice passes, played some good defense. Nobody's really stepping up for Swampscott and helping Kevin out. He's got to do it all by himself.
Well, a lot of kids got to realize, I was telling my kids last night at the halftime of our game, some of you kids can give me 5 or 6 rebounds, that's like scoring 14 or 15 points. You have scorers out on that floor and you have defenders out on that score. I'm sure Tommy Giotti isn't going to go home and say, well, I didn't score double figures. I was in there when we made the 11-0 run, and we got the big lead at halftime, and that's what his job is. And certain individuals, and they would know what their job is. Some people can't handle that, but the kids that can, they're usually on winning teams.
Cleveland inside. The foul is going to be against Whitten. Cleveland made a nice move to the baseline, and Whitten was just a step away and hit him with the body. Rogers will put it in play. And we got a whistle. The basket is out of whack. The string was tangled. They fixed that up, and now we're set to go. 10:41 left. A 21-point lead for the Witches. They out deep to Woodfork. They dump it inside to Cleveland. Nice move by Cleveland. He lays it in. Good move to the basket by Judd Cleveland. And it took him almost 6 minutes to score that first point. Penn can't hit the shot. Tipped up and in by Hernandez. And that's that second and third effort you were talking about, Dennis.
Yeah. Got to put a body on those kids on the rebounds, and they're not doing it.
Gordon has his shot blocked. Whitten comes up with a loose ball. Hernandez with a nice defense. And Scooney Penn brings it up. This is Matarajas. Hernandez along the baseline, off the glass, no good. Cleveland with the rebound. This is Woodfork. Woodfork throws it up, no good, but he'll go to the free throw line. And it's almost like he's out there not looking for their offense. Like that's the first shot that Woodfork has taken a long time. And they've got to make those moves to the basket to try and at least make Salem's defense honest.
Well, you know, they got him in the penalty early in the first half by doing exactly that the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game when it was a 17-17 game. But they've completely gotten away from that since then. You're absolutely right.
Tommy Giardi in the game replacing Hernandez. Cleveland misses the first free throw. Excuse me, Woodfork misses the first free throw. Peter looking for his first point. So Woodfork gets his first point of the second half. It's 50-30. Salem by 20. Matarajas gets swallowed up. This is Penn in the lane. Dumps it down to Whitten. Throws it up and in. It counts, and he'll go to the free throw line. A great pass by Penn.
Very good pass. I thought they might go the other way with the call there. Whitten was leading with the left hand.
He looked like he cleared out with the arm. You're right.
But still, it's a very difficult shot, and he stood up there and made it. It could have went either way with the call.
And this is what happens when you're a Scooney Penn. You draw all the traffic.
That's right.
And he's able to dish it off and create offense for his team.
Well, not only did he draw the traffic in the lane, but he also drew it. Rogers stepped up, thought he might take the three.
Whitten has 9. The lead is 23, 53-30. Tip knocked away. Klein gets it back. Whitten with the big steal. Ahead. Matarajas ahead of the field. Can't chase it down. He tried to get control and stay in bounds. He couldn't do it. Brendan Nolan is going to give Kevin Rogers a breather. And Kevin's going to be a tired young man tomorrow.
He is already. I think Swampscott's got to take a good hard look at their offense at 36 points against Medford. 30 points right now in their home gym. They got too many good athletes. They'll take a good long look here and see if they can come up with something.
Penn steals the inbounds pass, goes in and lays it in. Scooney with 23 and the lead is 25. And you see Salem going a little helter-skelter now with Rogers out of the ball game. Cleveland is going to get fouled.
Once again, they're standing around, all 5 guys. There's no set play. They haven't called any. No one's coming up for screens. They've got to work on something. You can't go through the whole season with 5 guys standing still.
Well, I got to ask, do you think possibly they're standing on offense because they're so used to Kevin doing it all and letting him do it and then standing and watching him do it?
Well, if that's the case, it's a big mistake.
Well, I think so, too, and I'm sure that's not what Brian Bagley has in mind. I'm sure that's not what Brian works in practice, but you tend to get used to. You're so we saw it so often in Salem with Brunson. You rely so much on Brunson that sometimes you found, although they didn't stand around very often at Salem, but you find yourself standing around watching because you expect him to do it. And you can't expect Kevin to beat 5 other guys.
Well, Brunson was surrounded by some great athletes as well as Kevin is. It's Dalton on the line. But Kevin Rogers is surrounded by Woodfork. Brian Hayes is a tremendous shooter. And Friedmar and Johnny Cleveland inside. There's some talent out there, and they've got to utilize the other kids. That'll also free up Kevin an awful lot more.
Nolan made the first, 55-31. And Brendan will get another. Long down court pass. Penn drives to the basket, lays it in. He just has tremendous moves. He can beat you any way he wants. Kevin Rogers loses it. The ball on the floor will have a jump ball. It'll be Swampscott basketball. Now we got a foul. So it looked like a jump ball. They call it a foul, like they call a push. They called it on Vasquez. And Kevin Rogers will be at the free throw line. Kevin had 16 in the first half. He's looking for his first point here in the second half. Can't get it to fall. Cleveland chases it down. And this is Rogers outside with the ball. Nolan. Shot. Cleveland with the follow. Blocked by Whitten. Nolan can't get the shot to fall. Finally, Vasquez comes down with it and gives it a Penn. The shot from the corner is up and good by Mateo. Another sophomore. The pass gets away. Klein chases it down. Rogers takes the shot, can't hit it. Tipped around. Vasquez comes up with a loose ball. The turnover, Rogers. The pass down court to Cleveland. The shot, no good by Klein, but the foul will be on Tommy Giotti. And I think you're right, Dennis. Right now, you got to try. It's going to become a learning experience. You got to, if you're Swampscott, you say, okay, 27 down, 7 minutes left. We're not going to win this basketball game, but let's start doing some good things to get ready for the next game and start getting the rest of the season. Start right now and look good offense. Look, spread the ball around. Try to get somebody else involved and work on the next game and the games down the road.
You almost got to use it like a full practice schedule. You know, it's very easy to run your offense in practice when the defense knows what you're going to do. But right now, they got a chance to really work hard for the next 7 minutes and to get something out of this game. Right now, they've given up so much that they're standing still. It's going to be a total loss altogether unless they can regroup and make something good out of it.
Scooney Penn gets a hand as he goes to the bench. Matarajis replaces him. Mike Klein makes both of his. Only the 7th point in almost 9 minutes for the Big Blue. Matarajis. Bounce pass to Giotti. Looking for Whitten across court. Friedmar picks it off and gives it to Rogers. Rogers to Friedmar. This is Judd Cleveland. Rogers in the lane. Throws it up. No good. He'll go to the free throw line. It's Tommy Giotti, Tyson Whitten, Bob Calixt, Tony Matarajis, and Roberto Vasquez out there for Salem. It's Mike Klein, Kevin Rogers, Judd Cleveland, Leon Friedmar, and Michael Jordan. out there for Swampscott as Kevin Rogers misses the first, and Kevin is still looking for his first point in the second half. So Kevin gets off the slide with the free throw, and it's 59-35 as Matarajas walks it up. Calix goes baseline. Left-hander is no good. Tipped around. Saved by Giotti. Now they say no, he stepped out of bounds. And with a 24-point lead, they're still pressuring Kevin and making him work. They just follow orders, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's making him work for everything. You got to do that.
Rogers. It's a 2 for Kevin. And we played 10 minutes, and that's only the second basket by Swampscott in the second half. And
their home gym, too. That's
well, it tells you the job that they're making Kevin really work, but it shows you what the other 4 guys on the floor are doing against Salem as Matarajas throws in a 3. Very quietly, he's got 15. That's his second trifecta. Cleveland. Shot blocked by Donovan Billings. Matarajas, the foul is going to be against Kevin Rogers. Wednesday Hernandez is coming back in the game, replacing Tommy Giotti. And Salem wants a timeout. 5:33 left, 62-37, and Dennis, we go back to the first half. 20-17, Swampscott on top, actually at the foul line twice, missing, and then Salem goes on at 11-0 lead, 11-0 run, and wind up an 8-point lead, and they come out and score the first 11 points. So it was like 10-2 or 13-4 to finish up the first half, and then all of a sudden it's 11-0 starting the second half, and then it's just play the bench and get this game over with and look to next week.
Well, defense, 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 and they're going to have the opportunity to have a 3 or 4 day rest. I'm sure they don't play till next Monday or Tuesday, and Coach Garrity's cleared his bench already. 5:33 left, so he gets a chance to see some of the underclassmen, although most of the kids are player underclassmen out there. Coach Bagley is going to have the troops keep their heads up high and, like we mentioned before, work on things that they need to work on.
Well, after winning 5 in a row, Swampscott is on their way to their second loss in a row, but first one in the conference. And as we said, you got to make it a learning experience. They've got so many weapons they can throw at you, and if they get you down, they generally keep you down. They don't let you breathe at all. And it's just that suffocating defense that really put the clamps on everybody except Kevin in the first half. Kevin Rogers looking for an alley-oop. Matarajas saves it. Now they say he's out of bounds.
I might add one more time, John. Playing in this small gym, Swampscott has the opportunity to practice in here and put a full court pressure in all day, where it's just repetitious with their kids, and I'd have to give it a shot against Salem. It's not going to be effective in Salem's big gym, but it might have worked tonight. I would have liked to see it.
Rogers double plups, can't get it. Gets the rebound, throws it up, he got fouled. The foul will be on Donovan Billings. So Kevin Rogers will be at the free throw line. And I think they're going to get Kevin out of there. And I know that Brian's got to come up with some kind of strategy for the Salem game at Salem, because that's a much bigger court. And Kevin will really get worn out if he does the same thing as he did here. Kevin makes them both, and he's going to go to the bench. He's got 21. And now Salem goes full court. This is Calix and Matarajas. Covered by Nolan. Billings. Calix takes the jump shot. Can't hit it. Billings with the rebound. Gets loose, throws it up. No good. And the foul would be against Hernandez.
Good job by Donovan Billings in there working hard underneath the basket.
Well, I mentioned this to Coach Gary the other day. We did a little interview for our Tuesday night show. I said the one good thing about, of course, winning everything by 25 or 30, you really get a chance to look at your bench. They get to play a lot of minutes. So in case something down the road happens, you get some kids who have played a lot of time and they're not coming off the bench really cold.
Well, Donovan Billings is a big example of that. I have him at camp at the Wayne camp every summer, and he's just a real hard worker and really worked hard over the summer. He and his brother Zach playing on a freshman team over in Salem. And Donovan's a real nice player. You can go to him, and unfortunately, he's stuck behind two great players in Tyson, Whitten, and Giardi. But I'm sure he'll get a lot of time the way his work ethic is, and you're not losing anything when you put him in the game.
Matarajas with the basketball. Calixte. This is Hernandez. Along the baseline, Calixte can't hit the shot, but he'll go to the free throw line as he gets knocked down. So Bob will look for his first point. (62-39). And of course, Swampscott was hoping for a game in the 40s or 50s, right, so that they would be able to stay with Salem and keep the score down.
Well, if they want that type of game, they're going to have to put some kind of pressure on defensively.
This is Badgett in the ball game now. Badgett, Klein, Jordan, Cleveland, and Brendan Nolan. Cleveland is going to go to the basket, get fouled by Billings. 4 minutes straight up to play in the basketball game. A 23-point advantage for the Witches, and then now it's just a case of playing out the string as we'll start to get some subs for Swampscott in the ball game.
Let's go, Vizcaya!
George Reyes replaces Tony Matarajas as Cleveland makes one. Matt Pescola in the basketball game for Swampscott. Calixte to Vasquez. This is Billings. Back to Billings in the lane. To Hernandez for the straightaway jump shot, no good. Vasquez chases down the loose basketball. This is Calixte outside with the basketball, looking to go. George Reyes. Calixte from the corner, no good. We get a foul underneath that's going to be against, I thought he signaled against Salem. It's against Donovan Billings. Swampscott will be at the line because Salem is over the limit.
Donovan Billings might have the best teacher on the North Shore for boxing out. His father is a tough guy under the basket, and it showed a little bit of Tom Billings out there. He cleared everybody out that time.
Michael Jordan at the free throw line for Swampscott.
Go first!
Jordan with his first point. So he gets the bonus. So Jordan makes them both. But still, they've made a few free throws here, but they still only have 2 baskets, and we've got 3:26 left in the first half, in the ball game, excuse me. This is George Reyes. Vasquez. Calix gets loose. The left-hander, no good. He'll go to the free throw line. It seems like the clock is never going to run out.
Can't get over soon enough. Very hot in here tonight.
Well, of course, talk about a bandbox out on the floor. It's a bandbox up here in the stands as well. And it really is a perspiring night here in the stands. Everybody bunched in for this big one in the Northeastern Conference. And Calix still looking for his first point. Still can't hit it.
You know, Peabody having a down year, John, and having already beaten English and Classical as well as Swampscott. Could be an undefeated team here out here for Salem Whitten.
Well, of course, you're going to watch right after this. You're going to see Salem come right back. You're going to see the girls against Peabody and the boys against Peabody. So stay tuned to TV3 as we're going to show you more basketball. So it's missed. Vasquez gets the rebound inside. He gets fouled. He got great position inside. Rebound on the basketball with 2:41 left, and Salem's been stuck at 22 for a long time here. Roberto Vasquez at the line, shooting 2.
Anthony.
Vasquez makes the first. So Vasquez is 2 for 2. 64-44 as Badgett brings it up. Calix stepped out of bounds. Mike Pescola, Mike Klein, Michael Jordan, Larry Badgett, and Russell Simmons on the floor for Swampscott. Tipped around, Calix picks it off. Calix, Giotti, Reyes, Billings, and Vasquez for Salem. Traveling against George Reyes. And we've got Eric Smith coming in the ball game for Calix.
Keep bringing them in, Salem. One shooter after another.
Defense by Vasquez, but he kicked it unintentionally. It'll give Swampscott the ball back with 2:05 left to play in the basketball game. Klein. Pass goes off Badgett, out of bounds. Now we have Eric Smith coming in the ball game, replacing Tommy Giotti. To Vasquez for the straightaway. Off the rim, no good. Klein with the rebound. Picked off by Vasquez. Coast to coast, he misses the shot. Jordan with the rebound. Vasquez with the steal. And they're gym rats. Everybody does it. They send them in a wave. They just keep playing defense.
They go all the way down the bench. They do it year in and year out. Kids that step in for the Salem team, they play this tenacious defense. It's been there for a while, and doesn't matter what the score is, how much time there is left in the game. Their JV unit, their freshman unit, right on up. It's a tribute to the program. The kids play terrific defense.
Roberto Vasquez finds himself back at the free throw line. He makes the first, so he'll get the bonus. Reminds you to stay tuned for the doubleheader coming up. Salem Peabody girls and then the Salem Peabody boys here on TV3 Sports Sunday. Vasquez misses Jordan chases it down in the corner. Pass ahead, picked off by George Reyes. Nice bounce pass to Smith. He can't hold on. It goes out of bounds. Nice bounce pass.
Now we got a bunch of people in the stands waiting for Mr. Smith to get a basket. I think he's going to bring the house down. He's got 1:11 to do it.
Bazin outside. Simmons throws it up, no good. Tipped around. If off Swampscott, it'll be Salem basketball. 59 seconds left to play. Vasquez. The shot from outside, off the rim, no good. Chased down by Jordan. The pass ahead, Klein saves it. The shot, no good. Loose. Billings comes up with a loose basketball. The shot by LaMontagne is good. Brian LaMontagne hits the shot. Bezit loses it. It went off Salem out of bounds with 23 seconds left. 67-44. And it's going to be disheartening for Brian Bagley. I know he worked very hard pointing to this game. He thought they were ready coming in. And if I know Brian and I know these kids, they'll be ready. This will be, it's a loss, but you got to wipe it out and forget about it and go on. And I'm sure they'll be back at practice working hard, and they'll be back.
Well, one game's not a season, and like we mentioned earlier, if they can regroup from this one, it's only the 5th or 6th, I think 7th game of the year for them. They got a long way to go, you know, and they also got an unfair justice in the Boston Globe, picking them on top to win Division III going in.
That put some pressure on them, too.
Oh, it sure did, you know. They just scrimmaged Dom Savio prior to that. I think Jimmy Doherty had a little bit to do with that, making a phone call and putting them up there, build their ego up a little bit. So I understand they stood up pretty well against Savio.
Well, they've got some athletes. They just come out today and just couldn't get it done in this. In Salem, as we mentioned before, if they've got it going, Brian would be the first to admit they're tough to beat if they get it going on all cylinders. And you know coming in, you got to play the best you can to stay with them. And Swampscott just didn't play the best they can. They were a better basketball team than this, and they'll show that the rest of the year because they'll be back.
You know, also a lot of pressure's been around on the Kevin Rogers 1,000-point thing, and it's taken a lot away from the team and ceremony tonight, a lot of stuff leading up into the Christmas tournament, so hopefully they'll regroup, and then knowing Coach Bagley the way I do, I'm sure they'll do fine.
Well, if work will get it done, I'm sure it'll get happen because Brian will certainly work at it. Vasquez gets his 4th point off from the free throw line. 68-46 with 11 seconds showing on the clock. Shot no good. Klein chases it down. Bounce pass, the shot no good. Tipped around the corner, Vasquez comes down with it. The buzzer sounds. 68-46. It was a 19-point second half for Swampscott after they were close at halftime. They cut it down to 8, and it was 2 particular points in the ball game, Dennis. 11-0 run near the end of the first half when they built up that 8-point lead, and then that big run, 11 straight points to start the second half. And then it was just no holding back. Scooney Penn was just unbelievable. He had 25. Mata Rogers chipped in with 15. Hernandez had 7. Tommy Giotti, I thought, was terrific defensively. Defensively, they did what they wanted to do, Salem did. Kevin Rogers had 16 in the first half. He wound up with 21. But you look at the rest of the team, Cleveland only had 6, 3 in each half. Pridmar had 6 in the first half, didn't score in the second half. They only got 3 baskets in the second half, and that's a tribute to the other 4, 5 players, the defense for Salem, shutting everybody else down, and they really made Kevin Rogers really work hard.
Well, you got Whitten, Hernandez, Giotti, even Donovan Billings, all those kids working inside, shutting Freeman and Cleveland off, did a terrific job. You can talk about Rogers and Penn all you want. It's really a team game, as we all know, and Salem comes in on all cylinders. I think Swampscott got stuck flat-footed watching Kevin trying to do his thing, and they've got to realize, Coach Bagley said in the ceremonies, that it takes a team to win, and they'll be back. They'll be at the drawing board tomorrow working on things, and I look for a lot of big things from Swampscott this year.
Well, Rogers had 21. It was Cleveland and Fridmar with 6 apiece. They were the next highest scorers, and it was just unbelievable pressure put on by Salem against Kevin Rogers. He had to work on both ends of the court, up and down, bringing it up, doing the offense, playing defense, and it's just too much to ask of any one high school player while you're playing against 5 guys playing good, solid defense, and that's what Salem did. They finally kicked the defense in. Scooney Penn started late, but then got it going, and he got it going on all cylinders. And those 2 big runs did the job. So the final score, once again, from Swampscott High School, Salem stays undefeated at 5-0, 68-46 over Swampscott. Swampscott drops to 1 loss in the conference, 5-2 overall, and a big win and a big game by Scooney Penn again. Stay tuned now for more sports on TV3. We have more Salem basketball, the girls and the boys against Peabody. But right now from the high school in Swampscott, for Dennis Skeetis and John Hoffman, good night.
Feet up.